I don't have my overhead lights on. I filmed a few videos this past week and all of them were so, like, the lighting or the camera or something was just off. Terrible. Like, really, really bad. So I'm just kind of playing around right now, so I don't have my big lights on. That's why it looks a little bit dark back there. But if it makes this work better, then that's what we're gonna go with. My hair's wet. I just washed my hair. But we are here today to test out this guy, the IT Cosmetics CC Cream Oil-Free Matte Poreless Finish Full Coverage Cream SPF 40. This recently came out. I was just about to order it on Sephora, and I'm not even kidding. I was about to hit like place order. Doorbell rings and IT Cosmetics had sent this collection over to me, and I was so excited because I really, really wanted to try this out. I'm not sure yet what shade I need. I have medium tan and neutral tan, so we're gonna try both. I'll do like a little patch test and we'll see which one works better. I'm gonna put my hair back eventually once it dries a little bit. So I am gonna prime my skin. I just have a little baby sample of the Kane & Austin primer, which I really, really love. I need to buy a big one. So I'm gonna put this on, keep it on the entire day. I'll do check-ins with you guys. We'll see how it holds up on my oily ass skin. I'm gonna put some primer on. I already moisturized and put on SPF, even though this has SPF in it. I love this primer. I don't know what's been up with my lighting. It's so frustrating. I thought about not priming one side of my face, but I always use primer, so like, why would I test it without, you know? You don't need a lot. Like, I'm taking a tiny, tiny bit. I really need to get my Botox done. I know some people like don't talk about it. You guys know I get Botox. I'm totally okay with sharing that. And look, me, girl. That's neutral tan. This is medium tan. Neutral tan for sure. So I'm gonna do the right side of my face with the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Skin Perfecting Brush. Really good foundation brush. And then I'm gonna use my Morphe sponge on the other side. I'm gonna take one pump. We'll see how far that gets us. Oh, it's a little thick. Not too bad. You know what? I might mix in a little bit of medium tan because this is a little bit too neutral. Okay, there we go. Wow, it has really good coverage. Oh my God, look at that. This looks really good. Oh my God, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. That looks incredible. Pretty much covered up my hyperpigmentation, my melasma. You can see it peeking out just a little bit, but it really looks natural, but it has great coverage. Okay, other side. Right off the bat, this sponge feels kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's like sticking to my face. Some foundations do that with a sponge. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look as good on my forehead. Not at all with the sponge. It almost looks like it has more coverage with a sponge, which makes no sense. I feel like the sponge side looks way heavier and it sunk into my laugh lines a lot more, my lines in general. So I think I'm gonna go over my face with a brush, and usually it's the opposite. It's definitely a little light. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera and do the rest of my face. I'll be right back. So I have my makeup on, obviously. I'll have everything listed down below. Everything applied really well. I wasn't upset about anything. The only area in my forehead looked like a little bit, I don't know, a little bit weird, like around my hairline, but I think it's okay. It's not too bad. The foundation looks really pretty. It's not overly matte. It doesn't look dry. I don't feel like I have a lot of makeup on. I'm really happy with it. The coverage is good. I do kind of feel like maybe I used a little bit too much product. I feel like a little bit goes a long way, so next time I would definitely use less product. But it's about 3 o'clock. I'm gonna try to keep this on till like 11, so we'll get a good like 8 hours and see how it holds up, how it controls my oil. I am gonna go outside and do some yard work in a full face, but we'll be able to see how it holds up in the heat. So I will see you guys in a few hours. I'm gonna go outside and see what I can get into. Maybe a little game of Frisbee, a little weed pulling. My life is very, very exciting. So check-in number 1, it is 6:15 on the dot. So I've had this on for a few hours. It's doing really well. I feel like everything looks really good. It is kind of sinking into some of my lines, but I mean, I feel like any foundation does that. Usually around the 3-hour mark is when my oils start to kind of pop out and I have to blot, but I think it still looks really good. The only area that I find is kind of changing a little bit is on either side of my nose, and like in my smile lines, it's a little bit, it's getting like a little bit textured looking, but it's not to the point where I think it's a problem. Like, I'm really, really happy with this. When I put my makeup on, everything just looked really pretty. Some days you just have a really good makeup day, and I feel like I'm having a good makeup day, so I feel like that's in thanks to my base. So yeah, I'm happy with it so far. Scrubbing toilets, I've been scrubbing showers, I'm just like picking up and vacuuming and all that stuff. So I was a little sweaty. I'm actually getting a little sweaty right now from these freaking lights. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours. I feel like this bun's just about to like, she's a little floppy. But how excited are we about this bun? Like, bitch has a messy bun. Okay, so it is 10:35. So I've had this on for a good amount of time. I'm a little bit oily. I'm more than a little bit oily, but I've been doing like decluttering in my house, outside playing Frisbee with the kids. So I was doing things that kind of would make me a little bit sweaty. I mean, I'm oily, but I'm not like dripping oil the way that I've been with some other foundations. So I think it did a really good job of controlling my oil. I haven't put any powder on the entire day other than setting my makeup right when I was putting it on. So I do want to apply a little powder. I don't have any blotting sheets down here. I don't have any tissues or anything. I'm the worst. So it would be nice to blot first, but we're just gonna go in with powder. So I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder and this little Laura Mercier puff. So before I do that, this is what my face is looking like right now. Definitely oily in the forehead, around my nose. Yeah, pretty oily, but not the worst I've ever been, by far. And let's just blot. I can't go all day without powder, but I did it just so you guys could see. You know what I mean? Like, of course I'm gonna be oily. I have oily skin. I have to kind of touch up throughout the day. Ugh. Okay, so now that I've powdered, I feel like everything looks a lot better. I mean, I really like this foundation. I feel like it wasn't too matte, but it was matte enough to kind of control my oil. I mean, I would never go the entire day without touching up and adding a little bit of powder because I have oily skin. Like 3 or 4 hours in, I have to start blotting and kind of powdering. So this did a really good job because I wasn't super oily. I feel like this foundation's right in the middle. It's not too matte, like it's not dry, it doesn't feel heavy, but it's not too little. Do you know what I mean? It's like right there in the middle. So I love, absolutely love the way this applied, the way this held up, the way it controlled my oil. So I don't really have anything bad to say. I could see this going a little bit heavy if you use too much. I almost feel like I used a little bit too much. Next time I use it, I'm gonna use a lighter hand and I feel like it won't sink into my lines and like my smile lines as much, but I don't really have any complaints. I'm totally happy with that. So if you have normal to oily skin, you're looking for SPF, anti-aging benefits, or just a matte foundation that's not too crazy matte, this might be a really good one to try out. I feel like you can still see my bronzer and my blush. My highlighter is totally gone. What highlighter did I wear? I wore this Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. So I wore this shade on my face and I mixed these two together for my inner corner and my brow bone. My highlighter is totally gone, and I don't think that has anything to do with the foundation because my bronzer is still there, my blush is still there. I have a problem with highlighters just totally disappearing on me. I've noticed that recently. Anyway, so my skin looks really good now that I put a little bit of powder on, and me not powdering my face for like 7 hours is not something that I would ever do unless I'm just hanging around the house. But like if I'm out and about, I'm always kind of touching up with powder. It's just something that I have to do with having oily skin. But I wanted you guys to be able to see how the foundation was controlling my oil, obviously. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I love that I can finally use the It Cosmetics CC cream. I've always wanted to love it. I've tried it so many times, the original one, and it looks absolutely horrible on me. Breaks apart. It makes me probably greasier than any other foundation ever has. So I'm very happy that I can finally wear it. It's a little bit of a different version, but same premise. The shade range is not crazy big, so hopefully you can find a shade that matches you. Hopefully they will continue to come out with more shades. So I feel like I've rambled on enough. If there's anything I missed, I will put it down below. I do have a couple other foundations that I want to do first impressions or reviews on. The Becca Skin Love. Yeah, this one, the Becca Skin Love. Again, the packaging, just so good. This one is Weightless Blur Foundation. That's all it says. So I really want to do a first impression on this one. I have a couple shades of this one as well. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. That's not a subscribe. Subscribe, thumbs up on your way out. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.
I love you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Wait, you're poking them in the eye? How about a peace sign? That's better. So yeah, I will see you guys in a few hours. So I will see you guys in a few... So yeah, whoa, that's a good one. I will see you guys in a few hours. I don't know. I'm too tan for it right now, so we'll play with it in the fall. Like, who even cares? They're here to see foundation, you dumbass. I hate it, and I kind of get worried about doing first impressions because my opinion does change sometimes, but, I mean, that's the price that we pay. What are you even saying? I'm like Sister Satisfied right now. Sister Sassy. Sister super excited. Bitch. Oh my god, look! Sisters! They're a little bit different, but